What is up, Nerf Nation? I'm Naptown Nerf, and today we're doing an unboxing review and having a little fun with some new products from Nerf called the NERF Bunkers. And they have partnered with Bunker, I believe, or they bought Bunker, because I know Bunker made some cover things in the past, but these look really cool. They have the NERF logo on them, they're NERF branded, and really excited to see what these things are all about. They look a lot larger than the previous bunkers sold, so pretty excited about this combo pack, which is a competition pack, which has 4 different bunkers in it. And I also picked up the caution crate, which I'm not sure why this is a caution crate, but looks pretty cool. Traffic cone, which also looks pretty sweet. And the toxic barrel, which I know my friend Toxic Crow would love this thing. This thing looks pretty awesome. Probably my favorite of those 3, but I cannot wait to crack these things open, blow them up, and see what they're all about. But also we have another product. This was sent to me, and it is actually a camouflage target of sorts. I think it's meant for airsoft, but I think it will be really awesome for Nerf, even for Rival. But we will crack this thing open and see what it is all about also with a little demonstration. So stay tuned. We got lots of things to look at today. So let's go ahead and crack these things open, and then we're gonna have to fill them with water, which I'll probably have to do off camera, blow them up, which nobody wants to see because that could be time consuming. Maybe have some sort of device, if I can track one down, to blow them up for me, that would be awesome. So let's go ahead and crack these things open and see what they got. All right, you guys, so I went ahead and filled these guys up, well, all except for one, so I could show you how I did it. It is a bit time consuming. Having a good camp vac is very handy. I would highly recommend that. Also, I had to locate a small funnel because they do not come with any sort of funnel to add the water to the base, and finding one small enough was a bit tricky for me. So hopefully you guys have something if you purchase these, or if you don't, think about that when purchasing both a camp vac and a small funnel to be able to blow these things up and get them ready to go. So talking about that, I got one right here, and I went ahead and filled the bottom up with water. I put about 4 cups in the bottom, and it goes into this guy right here. So you want to do that first, and then you want to use your air port here, pop that guy out, put your camp vac in there, make sure that you have a fitting that's big enough to obviously close off the air valve. I would not really recommend trying to blow these up by mouth, because that would be very difficult, but you can give it a shot if you so like. I'm sure it's possible. It's just going to take a very long time, and yeah, don't pass out while doing it. But nevertheless, I used a camp vac. Highly recommend it, especially if you're going to do multiple of these. And then you want to get it to, nearly full, about as close as possible. They say 80%. I probably went about 90%. And then close this guy off. And then you have the port here, which is a one-way valve, and you use your mouth to fill it up the rest of the way, and then you can close that guy off and push it all in. Pretty simple, actually very well executed in my opinion, and I think the only gripe I had was it didn't come with a small funnel. I didn't expect it, obviously, to come with a camp vac, but nevertheless, these things are pretty darn sweet. They aren't as big as I was hoping, but they are fairly large and about as big as you could expect. I'm hoping that maybe in the future they come out with even bigger ones, like a 4 foot by 3 foot one of these guys would be pretty sweet. These do come with some pretty sweet NERF Bunker Battle Zone power cards. The single ones that come in the crates here, these come with 3 each, and they actually were all different except for I think I had 1 duplicate of, out of the 3, which is pretty neat. So that's pretty sweet. And then the competitor pack comes with a big pack of them. We'll go ahead and crack this open and see how many we get. All right, so they actually give you 20 cards here, but you are not only getting power cards, you're gonna get a card that's called Getting Started. This actually just gives you some information on how to play with the power cards, which is really cool. You also have game cards, which tell you 3 different game types that you could play. And obviously you can come up with your own to create around these power cards. So that's really cool. Pretty simple game types. We have Battle Royale, Capture the Flag, and Big Team Battle, which I assume is just like a 2-team deathmatch But those are pretty sweet. We may have to put these and test them out here in a little bit, see if we can have some fun with these. But I think it's really cool that they've added these in with these bunkers. They also come with some patches in case you do pop yours that you can patch it. The competitor pack comes with 2 and the other ones just come with 1 each. And then obviously you will get an owner's manual and some instruction on how to inflate these and whatnot. So our tent target is pretty cool also. Actually has a little baggie. We'll go ahead and crack this open and see what's going on. But yeah, I think it's just a bag that it stores in, so that's pretty cool. Easy to carry around, and there we go. Wow, that was fun, wasn't it? Pops right open. See if I can get all this in frame. We got a lot of stuff to show off, but it's a pretty cool tent, obviously, to catch all your ammo, and it has some dangly stuff here to kind of catch it, and then a soft net behind. So I think that's a pretty good idea. I know a lot of people have created things like this to stop Nerf darts, or especially rival rounds that have a real nasty time of just going everywhere. So can't wait to put this to the test. I think this could be fun too to incorporate into a game, especially if you just have if you're just by yourself right now, which I know a lot of people are alone in their houses, or just maybe have one kid and don't have the ability to play with them. Having them shoot at targets is a great way to do that, and I think this is a fun way to just test out your blaster or even incorporate into a possible game type. So we'll have to set that up and see who can shoot the most darts into the tent target. All right, you guys, so we're gonna take these out into the living room and play with them very, very soon. But first, I wanna tell you one really cool feature about them. They all have this except for the one right here, and that is a really cool pocket. You can put loose darts or even small blasters up there and kind of incorporate that into your game type. So I think that's pretty darn sweet. They are all pretty much the same size, just proportioned a little differently. I think this one's like 18 by 18 by 33, but you'll get a good idea of how big these are, and they all are listed on the back of the packaging when you go to purchase these to tell you exactly how big they are. But I think you'll have a better idea how big they are when we're playing with them. So let's go ahead, set up a fort, and have some fun. Go. Jill got a pretty awesome headshot in here, as you can see. In the head. So we're playing a game called Defend the Core. I'm on offense and Jill is obviously playing defense right now, and I'm trying to get as many balls in the tent target as possible before losing all 5 of my lives. We do have a 5-second respawn when shot, and that is at the doors behind us. I just got Jill, so she's got to go back there and respawn. I kind of cut out most of the respawns just for keeping things flowing, but obviously we have the bunker set up in a wall here, and we said we could set, the person that was defending could set it up however they liked and have 1 bunker stacked. So obviously we have 1 bunker stacked on top of 2. It does work really well that way and gives the bunkers a much bigger presence and makes them a lot taller, as they're not very tall obviously when they're by themselves, but I think they work really well with the size they are for indoor play. And obviously you can still duck down behind them and stay under cover pretty darn well, even with a single bunker. But when you put them in a wall like this, it does make it very hard to shoot somebody when they're behind it, especially somebody of Jill's size. But I did manage to hit her a couple times and get quite a few rounds, as you can see there, into the tent. I am obviously using a stock takedown, which I really love that blaster a lot, and Jill's using her modified Kronos with some 3D printed parts on it. I feel like mine had a little bit better ability to rapid fire, obviously with the pump grip there, than her blaster, and obviously mine being stock was a little easier to prime. But nevertheless, both pretty comparable and similar blasters. Apologize obviously for the lighting. Just getting good shots lighting wise inside my house is very difficult, evidently. But I feel like hopefully you guys get a good feel for gameplay here and how these bunkers can be used. Obviously there's endless ways you can use them, and I think they're pretty sweet. So we'll go ahead and let you enjoy the rest of the footage, and then I'll give you my final thoughts and opinions on these products. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if it can handle the Prometheus. I think my battery's a little low, but that seemed to work pretty well. Oh no! We've fallen over. So only 4 rounds out of all those bounced out. Obviously, you're gonna have some bounce outs up close, you know, at this close range shooting into it, but I think that did extremely well. And here's some close-up looks at all the bunkers. Obviously, you have some that are the same design, just different colors, like those two. The green one here, the toxic can, and this one are the same, but just different colors. This one's got, like, I guess blood. It's supposed to be dripping down the barrel, and obviously this is like some sort of toxic black ooze or oil or something. And then we have the tire one that's supposed to look like obviously a tire stack, and then the caution traffic cone guy. So yeah, this one's pretty cool though, has some cool decals on it, I think, so pretty sweet. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. It's definitely been a ton of work putting together, but a lot of fun also. So Jill and I definitely had a lot of fun nerfing in the living room and videotaping it. So definitely smash that like button if you enjoyed that. But I think these bunkers are pretty darn sweet. They are very well made. I feel like they're fairly easy to inflate as long as you have an inflation device to do so. And I think they hold up to normal Nerf darts and rival rounds and ammo pretty darn well. Now, I wouldn't probably recommend shooting them point blank with a really high FPS blaster, as I don't believe they were designed for that. But even if you shot them with high FPS blasters from far away as like a target, they probably still would be all right. But obviously they're not designed for that. I didn't really put them through a lot of tests like that. But as far as cost for these things, I think they're actually very affordable. I mean, the competition pack is 35 bucks. You get 4 bunkers, you get 20 power cards, or like about 16 power cards, 3 game types, and instruction cards, so something like that. But nevertheless, those are really cool. I think those are a really good way to help you create game types, or create game types around those cards. Implementing those can be, you know, add some fun into your games, and I may even do that with games at the Naptown Nerf Club when we get that going again, hopefully sooner rather than later. But I think they would be super fun, especially if you have more than 2 players. Most of those cards are meant for multiple player games, so those are definitely a lot of fun, I think, as an added bonus to the bunkers. But if you're planning on purchasing these, I would recommend starting out with that competition pack and then adding on the single bunkers, the ones that come in the tubes here. These are $10 each, but I think it makes more sense to start out with the 4 and then add on onto that. But Nevertheless, the single ones I found at my local Target. These are at Target.com. They may be on shelves also. Haven't been visiting Target too much recently, so I'll put a link in the description box below to where you can find obviously all the products that I have shown here today. The tent target, on the other hand, that thing caught rival rounds and darts extremely well. Very impressed with how well that did. The target is about a 20 by 20 by 20 square, somewhere in that range. So it's not super big, but I think it could be very handy to put behind a chronograph to catch ammo from that you're shooting across that, or obviously use it in a game type like we did today, you know, as a defend the core or something like that, especially for indoors. I think that size worked really well. Outdoors, with a large amount of people, that may be a little small and hard to hit, but definitely a pretty cool product, and I'll put a link to where you can purchase that also. And super fun that it collapses into such a small bag, which I think is pretty handy and makes it a lot easier to store. These, on the other hand, could be a little difficult to store after you've inflated them. I don't plan on deflating mine until I need them out of the way, but if you do that like all the time, that could be a little annoying, I could see, especially draining all the water out of the bottoms. So definitely think about that when you purchase these. Once you've inflated them, especially if you bought like, what, 7 of them like I did, deflating all those and then finding storage and then maybe inflating them a week later, that could get a little annoying. But other than that, I think they're pretty darn sweet. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If so, definitely smash that like button. Let me know what you thought about the video in the comment section below. If you have any questions, definitely leave them there, and I will try to respond to as many of them as possible. I always try to do that with my videos. Please make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell for notifications, and as always, peace out.